Hey guys, Darren Miles with Darren Miles Photography, and I'm based here in beautiful, sunny Southwest Florida. And today is my third in my series of 50-50 tips and tricks. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that 50% of the people probably already knew this, and the other 50% probably didn't. And today I'm targeting the 50% that didn't. And what I want to do is, I want to show you how to figure out your camera's shutter count. This is an incredibly high mileage Nikon D750. I utilize this thing as my primary camera for anywhere from 300 to 1,000 shots a day, and I've had it for 4.5 years. So lately, I've been kind of curious to figure out how many times have I pressed the shutter button on this thing. So the purpose of this video is to show you how I went about finding out what my camera shutter count is and how you can do it too. So let's take a look. Today, I decided that I want to talk about an old friend. This is my Nikon D750, and I've had this camera since 2014, which is ancient by modern technology standards. However, I still think the Nikon D750 is still one of the best overall values for DSLR cameras in the marketplace today. In my opinion, the Nikon D750 does just about everything really well. It takes great pictures, even the video is decent, the dynamic range is excellent. The buffer kind of stinks, but really that's about the only thing I can knock with the D750. When I first made the move to Nikon back in 2014, this is the very first camera that I purchased. And it took a little while to get used to the ergonomics, especially if you come from Canon, but I love this thing. This is my baby. I've had this thing for 4.5 years, and it's just been an amazing and reliable performer. However, like anything, as you start racking up miles, or in the case of cameras, you start racking up shutter clicks, things don't quite work as well as they used to, and the camera starts to slow down a little bit. For example, the hot shoe is a little bit loose, and my flash, unfortunately, will often misfire. It's kind of a bummer. I can wiggle a little bit and get it to work, but my flash does in fact misfire. Number two, the SD card slots seem to have slowed down quite a bit. They don't quite record as fast as they used to. I can put in faster cards. It doesn't seem to make that much of a difference. They just don't seem to record quite as quickly as they used to. The sensor has some dust on it. You can tell in the pictures. Even if I use the blower on it, there's still some dust in there. And the shutter button doesn't quite work the same way that it used to. It kind of gets sticky. The battery performance just isn't what it used to be. I'm sure I could buy a new battery and things would be just fine. But I started to wonder, after 4.5 years of photographing as much as I do, now again, this is my primary camera. I utilize about 5 or 6 different cameras. I actually have 5 Nikon cameras, but this is still the one that I go to first. It's kind of, the beauty of the Nikon D750 is that it does just about everything well, and even by today's standards, I still feel like the D750 is still one of the best overall DSLR values available in the marketplace today. It just, like I said, it does everything well. It takes great pictures, has amazing dynamic range, decent battery life, assuming your battery is new. But the only really knock on it, there's 2 real knocks on it. One, the max shutter speed is 1/4000th of a second, and the other knock on it is that the buffer is really kind of small. You can rack out the buffer in this thing pretty quickly, and you have to wait sometimes to take the next picture. But those 2 downsides aside, the D750 overall does a really great job. So what's the purpose of this video? Well, after 4.5 years, I suddenly became very curious, given that it isn't quite working the way that it used to. I became very curious to know, how many shutter clicks does my Nikon D750 have? I never checked. And you know what? I think it's about time that I did. So I went to today's photo shoot utilizing my D750, and I found the last picture that I took. It was file number 1712. It was taken earlier today. So I went to Google and I typed in Nikon shutter count. I went to this first page right here. It said Nikon shutter count, and it brought me to this, and the capture screen didn't work. So I went back and I went to shuttercount.com, and this one seemed to work pretty well. So I went to upload a photo. I went to the house that I shot today. And let's see, 1712 was the NEF, the Nikon RAW file right here, 1712. Click open, and now for the moment of truth. is a high mileage Nikon D750, 533,000 clicks. I knew I used this a lot. I just didn't realize I'd used it that much. So anyway, that's my 50/50 tip and trick for today. What is my shutter count? You just go to www.shuttercounter.com, upload a RAW file, and just like that, you'll get your camera's shutter count information. It's one of those important things too if you're going to be selling your camera. Oftentimes people will ask you, hey, what's the shutter count? Well, that's how you find out. So there you go. I'm Darren Miles with Darren Miles Photography. If you like videos like this, go ahead and give me a like, or better yet, subscribe. And until the next time, happy shooting.